It is the Patrick Netherton Show right here on 1130 The Tiger. He would be Rogers Hampton. I would be Patrick Netherton, and we are approaching a heck of a weekend upcoming in New Orleans, first weekend in April. Not only do you have the Final Four, which obviously folks around here are very excited for, but it's also the same weekend as Hogs for the Cause, which I know I'm very excited for. A lot of people down in New Orleans are huge fans of. Not only is it a great barbecue event, it is a great music event, and it is a great charity event. And we welcome in one of the co-founders, Becker Hall. Was nice enough to join us last year to talk about a kind of a weird year for Hogs for the Cause, but a little bit more normalcy. And Becker, let's kind of start with that. Has this felt like a more normal year for you guys?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me back.
Of course.
Always a pleasure. Yeah, definitely feels a little bit more normal. It's a lot of, last year we had amazing positive energy. We were the only festival that happened in pretty much New Orleans and maybe even Louisiana. So people were ecstatic to be able to do that. It was just a lot smaller scale than we're used to. So back at UNO Festival grounds, and the pun on it, of course, is everybody's ready to go hog wild again.
Well, and also you don't have to worry about bringing your mud boots this go around.
I don't know. I hope not, but you never know. We're 7 days out, and things are looking pretty good right now. But this is Louisiana. You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Hey, for those that don't know, obviously it's a barbecue festival, it's a music festival, but I want to talk about the charity aspect of things.
Yeah.
I know this has been on for a bit, and we talked a little bit last year about the history of this event, but kind of give us an idea of what kind of charitable money you're being able to raise with this event and what that goes to.
Sure. So we have about, as you noticed, well, last year you saw kind of an abridged version, but we have about 85 to 90 teams that compete in this barbecue competition, and all 90 of those teams serve food to the public as well, which is really cool, which is different from your typical barbecue event. But on top of that, they're pretty much fundraising all year round as well. And what they do is they'll kind of use their relationships, and a lot of people are listening have probably been hit up by a team before to donate. And then we take those monies that are raised and we give direct financial grants to families all over the country who have children with pediatric brain cancer. And people don't realize that pediatric brain cancer is now the #1 terminal cancer in children, outpaces leukemia. And we're the #1 provider of those monies to families in the whole country.
Wow. And
secondary, we build homes. We build essentially hotels on hospital campuses called Hogs houses, which we built one here in New Orleans, and we're building another one in Baton Rouge on the new Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital campus. And they're about 15-room kind of hotels where families of any condition, as long as they're having to do like a long-term stay at the hospital, can receive free housing. And both the first house in New Orleans has been fully occupied since we opened it 3 years ago and served all 64 parishes and even places all around the world. And we know that's going to be the same for Orwell and Baton Rouge. So a lot of people who are coming down from the northern part of the state, they need a place to stay. And those Hogs houses are where they do.
Speaking of places to stay, it is a madhouse trying to find places to stay in New Orleans for this weekend.
Yeah.
I guess when you were looking at dates, y'all had to know the Final Four was that weekend. What was kind of the thought process around that?
Yeah, it's festival season in New Orleans. It's a late Mardi Gras, and there's Easter. So, there's a festival before us, which is this weekend, which kind of caters to the younger generation, called Buku.
Yeah.
And then there's us, and then you go to Easter, then you go to French Quarter Fest, then you go to Gas Fest. So there are no free weekends. And what a lot of people may not understand is all these festivals share the same labor, stages, production. So you kind of have to you plan your weekends out 5 years in advance.
Wow.
Maybe even more. So we actually had our weekend before the NCAA had theirs.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, and there's just nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
And that unfortunately drove the hotel. You know, that's going to lock up most of the hotels. But
Yeah.
I'll tell you, those hotel rooms are going to open up soon. It depends on which teams are coming in.
Sure.
Those blocks fall off.
Yeah, well,
So
the Gonzaga folks who thought, hey, we're a shoe-in for New Orleans, they're going to start giving up their hotel rooms.
You got it.
The Arizona fans who thought they probably were headed to New Orleans, they're giving up hotel rooms. So, yeah, I've got a hotel room booked, but I'm going to basically be looking every day from now until the event to see what kind of opens up.
I don't know if you're like a big Airbnb guy, but like 4 months ago, they were still all dirt cheap because most people didn't realize, don't really pay attention to the NCAA Final Four, so they didn't know what kind of opportunity they really had.
Yeah.
But they were still some great opportunities there. I haven't looked in a while, but yeah, I think it's going to free up.
Yeah. Hey, is there an do y'all have a plan in place, or do you feel like there is an opportunity to cross over a little bit and maybe get some of the folks coming in, let's say Villanova makes it to the Final Four, a bunch of folks from Philly come flying in. Is there a plan in place, airports or any of that stuff to kind of say, hey, maybe we can get a couple of those folks out to enjoy our festival?
It's kind of funny you say that because everybody's already making Arkansas jokes right now.
Sure.
And that if Arkansas makes it to the Final Four, we're going to absolutely kill it, which is Hogs and Razorback fans.
Yes.
But, yeah, our messaging is in all the hotels as well. And we're really fortunate that we have a pretty good partner who does all the hotel advertising programs. So they kind of run our commercial in the hotels, which is kind of neat, and select hotels. But yeah, we're hopeful to pick up some of that crowd and show them a new kind of New Orleans, Louisiana feel experience. Well,
and look, if Arkansas makes it to the Final Four, do you ban whole hog at all? Like, you have to make sure there's no pork products of any kind being cooked? How does that work? You got to be sensitive to your Razorback fans that are coming in.
Look, I'm an LSU fan, and I went to the University of South Carolina.
There you go.
Being sensitive to Arkansas Razorback is not something I'm very concerned about.
Not in your vocabulary. I love it.
No, don't. I'm not. I don't dislike Razorbacks. I actually kind of pull for some of the programs.
Yeah.
But we're going to be smoking about 4 tons of pork regardless, maybe more. 6 tons. I don't know what it is. We have 2 tons of bacon out there on Friday night alone.
Yeah, it is wild. All right, so kind of walk us through for those, and I tell everyone we do a lot of barbecue talk on this show. I'm a certified barbecue judge. We have a lot of, we do a foodie Friday typically. We'll matter of fact, a couple of our pit masters that we've had on the show are actually going to be on teams down there this weekend. Cool. So I'm looking forward to that. So for those that maybe, hey, I'm interested, it's 4.5, 5 hours away. Kind of give us the idea of what the rundown is for the barbecue festival aspect.
Yeah, and I think it's important to point out to people that, you've seen the event. 70% of our teams, they're not these on the barbecue circuit type people.
Right.
They're really just your tailgate barbecuers, just like you and me. And, it's each team has anywhere from 20 to 100 people on their team. They may have a booth that's just a 10 by 10 tent with a smoker behind it to people who are setting up 3-story buildings as their booth. So it's all kinds. And on Friday night is bacon and wing night. I know it's Lent, but that just doesn't stop the heathens from coming out. It's what they want. So we have 2 tons of bacon being served. Every team will be serving a bacon dish, and wing night as well. So there'll be bacon and wings out there. Saturday is the more traditional barbecue. So everybody's serving your more traditional barbecue. We got 9 bands on Friday on 3 stages, and then we do 12 to 13 bands on Saturday on those 3 stages. So Friday goes a little bit late into the night. Saturday, we like to say, is your longer, day, more familial family day.
Yeah, it's a heck of a lot of fun. I mean, I remember kind of as I was we're getting done on Friday, and I'm like, yeah, I'm tired. Like, I'm going to the hotel. I traveled all that, and I'm like, I just want to get some rest. Yeah. Like, oh, well, here comes Manny Fresh, and here comes they're just hitting the stage and about to start the party. I'm like, oh, I'm too old for this. Like I'm Danny Glover and Lethal Weapon on this thing, Becker. I gotta go home, brother. It's just too much. Plus, I knew I had an early wake up on Saturday. So
that's true. I mean, the judging is important. So you got to be fresh and you got to be fully digested for the next day.
Yeah, got to be.
Palate's got to be clean. You need to sleep it off.
Yes, got to be ready to go. All right, you mentioned the music side of things, which will be going on 3 stages, Friday night and Saturday all day. Give us an idea of the time frame. If someone decides, hey, I'm leaving. I'm going to take a half day on Friday of work, and then I'm going down to New Orleans. What's the time frame of you need to be here, this time to this time, that kind of thing?
Yeah, so the gates open on Friday at 3:30 p.m. and they quote unquote close at 11 p.m.
Right.
But as you kind of mentioned, there are some late night shows that go on in different tents. But the acts end at 11. So on Friday night, you have Galactic playing the main stage. They'll be closing it with some special guests. And then you have the wonderful, amazing, talented country artist James McMurtry on another stage, closing that one out with Joshua Ray Walker. Those two guys have the top 5 country albums of the year by Rolling Stone.
Wow.
And then we have some locals on our third stage. Saturday, the gates open around 11 a.m. We got the one and only Bruce Hornsby playing. We have Shaky Graves, and going to have some bluegrass for you with Yonder Mountain String Band, some Texas country with Flatland Cavalry and Mike and the Moon Pies, and also some New Orleans brass playing in the tent. So just a lot for everybody.
Kind of the last thing, and that is sort of planning this event. Now, I know it's not you personally, it's not you alone that puts this thing on, that plans this thing, but to see what it's become from your vision of it when it started, kind of what's that journey been like for you to see how this thing has developed?
Yeah, it's a very small organization. My co-founder Renee Luoff and I started it 14 years ago now, and there's another one of us. There's about 3 of us who do it all the planning, and it takes about 9 months. I don't think we ever thought we'd grow it to a 30 to 40,000 person festival initially, but it really was for us meeting the first child that we helped that first year, his story and being able to meet him and what he wanted to do with his life. That really inspired us. We walked out of that meeting and said we were going to build the biggest charity in the United States around this child's disease, and that's what we've done. So, it's a lot of work, and we didn't know we'd build it this big, but we didn't have a doubt that we would become that big of a charity to really honor this child who is just so inspirational to us.
Yeah, and one of the cool things that we got to see last year is you got to bring some of those folks on stage towards the end, and that to me is kind of awesome because it does put a human. It's easy to say pediatric brain cancer, and all of us obviously are no one's for pediatric brain cancer. Like all of us hate it, but when you put a human face to that and a child's face to that, it certainly kind of ups the ante for the emotional connection that you make.
That one was particularly hard because that was a child of one of our team members who had been with us for 13 years even in that particular case. And it just shows how close these things hit home. In the last month, I've had 2 of my own fraternity brothers have children with pediatric brain cancer. So, it's important to recognize the cause, but if you aren't afflicted or close to something like that, if anything, we tell is just be so happy with your children and how lucky you and fortunate you are. And maybe, when you're feeling mad sometimes with them, just give them a pass and just give them a hug just because you're just truly lucky and blessed to have them and have them healthy. But sadly, that child that you're talking about passed 3 months after the event and said that day you're referencing was the best night of his life.
Golly. Oh, that's why
it's a hard
and that's
cause,
why you do it, man. That's why you do it, right? I mean, that's why you have to do it. and that's why every year that I've got a radio show, you're coming on, and assuming you want to keep doing it. But no, I mean that's whatever small
matters, but.
Yeah, and whatever small part we can help out here, even though we're 4.5, 5 hours away. We're going to be a part. Like I mentioned, one of our guys who's actually a sponsor on this station is going to be one of the cooks on a team down there, and I hope people find a way to get involved. Speaking of that, if you can't make it and you can't get down there for whatever reason, how can we support from up here, from afar?
Yeah, great question. Just go to either hogsfest.org and click the donate button, or go to hogsforthecause.org, which is more charity focused, and you can see some of the charitable works we do. Click that donate button. Do you know what team he's on? Because we can tell him to choose that team when you get the chance to donate. All those monies will go in his piggy bank. I
do. He is with Hog Addiction.
Yeah, man, those are some gunners. They got some real talented hog cookers on that team.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you just go to the site, and when you're donating, you have the chance to click down to support a team. And if you want to support Hog Addiction, just highlight them.
Beautiful. That's our good buddy Brian Rapolo who is on that, and I'm looking forward to it. And Brian Bingham from Sunbird Barbecue up here in Longview is going to be down with the Barstool crew. So looking forward to it. Becker, man, always appreciate your time. I know things are pretty wild and crazy right now getting up to the event. We love helping out any way we can. I look forward to seeing you down there next weekend and judging some barbecue, brother.
Thank you for the time. And tell Brian we got Vegas odds on about 3-1, so pressure's on.
No, well, the dude knows what the heck he's doing. I can promise you that. I'm just lucky enough that no, it's a trust me.
It's a big team.
Having judged last year, I can tell you they know what the heck they're doing. There's no doubt about that. Becker, thanks for your time, brother, and good luck this year. We'll see you in a bit. All right, Becker Hall, the co-founder of